This is the WWE Raw November 18, 2024 full show results video, which takes place at Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The show opens with the usual montage of talent arriving at the arena, then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez make their entrance and Liv gets on the mic. She gets right to the point and says she knows Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair want to pick a fight with her and that they didn't come alone, so neither did they. Then comes Nia Jax, flanked by Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae. Jax gets on the mic and wants to get a few things straight. She doesn't like nor dislike nor think about Raquel Rodriguez at all. She and Liv have had their business, but same deal, and now, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, she can't stop thinking about them. Then comes Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, and Bianca says if you're thinking about something, do it, but they didn't come alone either. Io Sky joins them and the babyfaces get in the ring, and Morgan points out that they're still outnumbered and nobody in the back is dumb enough to want to be on their team, and then returns Rhea Ripley. She heads to the ring and said Wargames, and headbutts Liv Morgan. A brawl breaks out, Rhea chasing Liv off through the crowd, Io Sky at ringside with an Orihara moonsault, and the babyfaces stands tall. Back from the commercial, we get a recap of Triple H presenting Travis Scott with the Hardcore Championship and inviting him to the January 6th Raw on Netflix. Then we saw a mixed tag team match between Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Chad Gable and Ivy Nile, and the result of this match was Latino World Order defeated American Made by pinfall. Rey Mysterio hits 619 and then a slingshot splash on Chad Gable. Post-match, American Made go to check on Gable and he gets pissed and they fight among each other for a moment. Finn Balor tries to talk Liv Morgan down in the Judgment Day clubhouse and offers to take the wheel from her tonight, which she accepts. Balor turns immediately and gives Dominic Mysterio a pep talk, and he and Carlito go off to take care of business. Finn Balor and JD McDonough go off in a different direction. We get a recap of all the Wyatt Six, The Miz and Final Testament stuff, and The Miz says it has been a tough few weeks since being abducted by the Wyatt Six. Last week on Raw, The Miz double-crossed the Wyatt Six and helped the Final Testament. Karrion Kross says the Wyatts are a bunch of wounded people using others to feel better about themselves. Miz says this is what Marine 7 needed to get started. Maybe Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino will direct, and Kross says he is in control. Gunther gives Ludwig Kaiser a talk backstage about standing and being his own man and telling him to look into his eyes and asking if he still sees the old ring general. Kaiser says nothing has changed, and Gunther says Damian Priest doesn't get under his skin. Gunther sees Damian Priest signing some autographs and sneaks up behind him to apply a sleeper hold. Damian fights him off and says out in the ring he's a general, but in the streets, Priest is a king. Adam Pearce rolls up to ask what this is, and Priest tells him the champ needs some ice. The next match happened between Bron Breakker versus Sheamus for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and the result of this match was Bron Breakker won the match by disqualification when Braun hits a spear to Sheamus, but Sheamus rolls to the safety of the floor, and then Ludwig Kaiser appears and attacks Bron Breakker. Post-match, Kaiser presses the attack and lays Braun out with the square hammer DDT. Shotgun dropkick puts Sheamus into the steel steps. Jey Uso is backstage with Big Jim, Sami Zayn, and Seth Rollins and gives them a pep talk about standing together despite their differences. Zayn points out that Rollins was able to put aside his bad blood with Cody Rhodes last year, so why can't he put the bad blood with Roman Reigns aside? Seth says it hurts him inside, but he cannot set aside his issues with the tyrant Roman Reigns. He wishes them luck and says he's out, and Jim says no yeet. We get a pre-taped video of Dakota Kai, and she says for the last 4 months, she's been on the sidelines and it's hard to be away from the action. Kai says she doubted herself and thought there might not be a place for her. Is she good enough? Kai says she's never wanted or loved this more. She is a champion and says she's ready to show everyone why Dakota Kai is a champion. Then WWE made official on November 30th at Survivor Series, Wargames, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and Naomi will battle Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae in a Women's Wargames match. Next Monday on Raw, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Bianca Belair will battle WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax in a Wargames Advantage match. The next match happened between Judgment Day, Carlito and Dominic Mysterio, versus War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, and the result of this match was War Raiders defeated Judgment Day by pinfall with War Machine on Carlito. Post-match, Finn Balor and JD McDonough jump War Raiders and beat them down and stands tall. Lyra Valkyria says a phoenix has to burn to rise from the ashes. When she was drafted to Raw, she was thrown into the fire, but she didn't burn. She thrived by facing the best in the world, and she used to think she was a phoenix, but she's so much more. Valkyria doesn't burn, she rises, and she is coming for everyone. Alpha Academy run into Kofi Kingston backstage and ask how things are with Xavier Woods. Kofi starts to answer, but Xavier appears to say they have a problem and they need to talk about it, and he keeps thinking about what Karrion Kross was saying about New Day being dead and them being the only ones who don't know it. Kingston tells him he has to remember what New Day is about. Woods takes offense, Otis steps in and Xavier unloads on him, asking why he thinks Chad Gable left their asses. He says Dozer can be sad next week when New Day beat Alpha Academy. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Big Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. The bell rings and the all-new, all-different bloodline surround the ring, but the Uso and Sami Zayn arrive to even the odds and brawl with the bloodline out through the crowd. In the end, Seth Rollins hits Stomp, then goes up top, but Solo Sikoa is on the announce desk to run interference. Bronson hits Death Valley Driver, a pair of sentences, and goes up top and delivers Tsunami, and defeated Seth Rollins by pinfall. Post-match, Solo Sikoa comes to the ring, raised Bronson's hand, and the show goes off the air. Let me know your thoughts for this week's Monday Night Raw. Please subscribe the channel and thanks for watching the video.